I'm Benjamin. Are you hungry?
Are you hungry?
I am starving.
This is the most unfair we've ever done because
It really is. You're right, and I think there probably are a few people who listen to this podcast locally. But
now here's the thing. A lot of people know that I do Yub Nub's Christmas special. And
Yub Nub.
I showcase all the Christmas stuff that goes on here in Northeast Louisiana.
Yub Nub.
And everyone goes, "Wow, you make it sound so fun. It feels like a Christmas town." It's not really. I just go to the highlighted places, and we got some places to go.
Right.
But yeah, I make it look fun. And today we're gonna make.
Is Yub Nub's only line Yub Nub? Does he say anything else?
Yeah, he cusses and Ewok.
Oh, that's right.
On the show, but anyway.
He and R2.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Have just the worst.
Yeah.
Right.
But I wanted to also tell you that if you're in the area.
Yes.
Then we were talking about this because I just went to a restaurant. We talked about this a few months ago, I remember.
This was several months ago.
Several months ago, I told you I'd finally gone to this hometown restaurant that's been around for decades.
Decades.
You went,
Yeah, dude, that's one of my favorite places.
And then we started talking about local restaurants and how good they were. And I said, you know what, we should do a top 5 local restaurants because I am proud of these restaurants. All these are restaurants I'm very proud of. And I don't think there are any chain restaurants. My number 5 is the only one I don't know for sure if it's a chain restaurant.
Okay.
But I tried to avoid chain restaurants.
Oh, I did too. Agree.
Because I want it to be unique. Now, if my number 5 is not unique, I'll find something to sub in for it.
No, I think that there's...
I think there's going to be, obviously, a lot of crossover. Okay, so...
Okay.
Yes,
Did you get a yes?
I got a yes.
Okay, right on.
Kind of sure.
Christmas is going to be great this year because we have a very special guest that just confirmed via text to Matt's phone, and he got a confirmation with sure.
Two guests.
Oh, two guests. 2 special guests for Christmas.
Bringing out
Christmas Saturday morning.
Samoflange. Here we go. So,
crossover. We have a genuine possibility for crossover this time.
I'm going to go again.
You going to go 3?
I'm going to go magic number 2.
I was going to do 3.
Yo, let's do it.
It's possible. I'm going to say lower. It's probably a lower spectrum, but...
What's number 5?
Oh, man. No. Oh, this is going to be hard. No. Oh, dang. All right. I'm going to have to go. I had to go 1. I'm going to let you have 2. I'll just do 1. I'll just do 1. So we'll see.
No, we didn't get it right last time.
So, close, like honorable mention, I would say, is just because it's not typically considered a restaurant, but it is as far as Northeast Louisiana goes.
Okay.
You have to have Johnny's Pizza included in the conversation.
You know what? That is a local restaurant.
It is a local restaurant.
It's throughout Louisiana
it's throughout a lot of Louisiana, but it's speckled throughout.
It's now regional, but
right. It's semi-regional, but it started in Monroe. Right, correct. In Monroe, yes.
That would count.
Okay, so
that would count.
Johnny's
if you
Pizza
want to put that one in,
is
that'd probably be your number 1.
I mean,
and here's the thing.
It's one place that if you come to visit here, you have to try our local pizza chain because it's what everybody has. It's really popular.
And that is correct. And I probably would change my number 5.
It's the equivalent of like if you don't go to Chicago without getting Chicago deep dish pizza. Yeah. No. So you can't come to Northeast Louisiana without getting Johnny's Pizza here.
Yeah,
that's what I would say for sure.
I agree with that. I think it is local. I do say it's local.
Yeah. It's just a bit more like fast foody, kind of chainy almost. But it's not. It's above Burger King for sure or something like that.
Hold on, let me make sure.
Yeah.
My number 4.
It's so good.
Number 4 for
like,
me.
And it seems like no matter how often. No.
Because you really love Johnny's.
I do.
You do love Johnny's.
And I never get tired of it.
I'm going to count that. I'm going to say that's my number 4.
Fantastic. So there's our first crossover.
If you came down here, well, that's your honorable mention. All right. Because if you came here, one of the places...
It would need to be on the list.
Because I was thinking, what would be the places I would want to take
That's exactly what I was thinking, right.
And I would want to take them to a Johnny's Pizza, so that would be number 4 for me.
Okay.
Okay, so my honorable mention then, now that I bumped up...
You've been bumped.
Which I don't... And here's the thing, I just don't know if this is local or not, because I haven't seen another Hobby Peas before.
Hobby Peas, which I still haven't been to yet.
I love Hobby Peas.
Tell me why. Is it Chipotle?
It's
the Chipotle, right?
Chipotle. I don't like Chipotle. Chipotle is overrated. It's not bad.
I think it's overrated here because we don't have one here.
Oh, it'd be do gangbusters here. But the thing is, though,
is Javi Peas what that is?
Javi Peas is better.
Right on.
Javi Peas is that bowl,
right.
that bowl burrito that's just better.
Okay. I'm going to have to try me some Javi Peas now.
It's excellent. Now, that's going to be mine.
I hate this podcast already. I'm already so hungry, and I've already had dinner, and this is late at night, and I can't just go get me some Javi Peas right now.
But now, thinking if I'm putting Johnny's Pizza in the mix, Javi Peas I would not take you to yet.
No?
No, I wouldn't. I would. It's an honorable mention.
Not over Johnny's Pizza, you wouldn't
Not
take
over
it.
Johnny's Pizza.
No. Definitely not. No.
I would not.
You wouldn't take somebody to Chipotle because then they just say, "This is Chipotle. What do I want? What do I like this for?"
Exactly. I want to be unique or something I'm proud of.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
All right. So number 5 for you.
Number 5 for me is Brazen. BRAIZ''N.
I would choose that one because I've only been once and I loved it, but Megan hated it.
Megan didn't like it.
Never been back. But I loved it. I've only been there once, which is why.
Brazen on North 18th Street. It's in a little corner of a strip mall area, but they've got amazing food and great Taco Tuesday specials, and so I typically go on Tuesdays, and because they've got really cheap meat and chicken tacos, and they're fantastic.
I hear they're good.
And they've got a little open area, like where when the weather is nice, you can open up this big window and you can sit there right on the bar, and you can watch, people watch people as you eat. And then they've got the TVs if you sit on the other side and you can watch some football or something. I don't know, but I love going there, and everything's so good.
Now, oddly enough, I do. If I was to eat there, I would eat there on October 31st.
What?
Tell you why.
Tell me why.
That location is where Cardco was.
Is it?
The original comic book and card shop.
Where? It wasn't in that spot.
It was in that exact corner.
What?
Way back in the day.
Why on Halloween would you eat there?
Because that's when they closed. That was the last day, Halloween.
So sentimental.
I still have the Cardco sign. People maybe know me.
Kid Cardco
and stuff like that. But Cardco impacts a lot of the stuff I did as a kid.
I had no idea that was the spot.
My little comic books I used to make was called Cardco Comics.
Wow.
I was very impacted by that. And it switched to Heavenly Ham. Which is
Heavenly
Ham for over a decade.
Yeah, it was there for a long time.
And Heavenly Ham didn't make... they did a lunch thing, but the time when Heavenly Ham made their money was Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Because their hams were super expensive, but there was
nothing better.
And you had to get ham ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have anything.
Have you ever been...
Thanksgiving to Christmas, they were sold out.
Have you ever been to a Marie Callender's restaurant before?
Similar?
Popular in the Pacific Northwest. They're in Oregon, and similar to Thanksgiving, like that's sort of like Heavenly Ham. Like Marie Callender's is a big, you can go into the frozen section in any grocery store, you see a Marie Callender's, whatever. But the actual restaurant I know it's big in the Pacific Northwest, but that's a happening joint on Thanksgiving Day.
I would eat there on October 31st.
Yeah.
Just to be there.
That would be cool.
And then the other thing, we did eat on Brazen October 31st, the first time.
Did you?
Went, yeah.
Oh.
So, if I go, I'd go again. But I'd like to go because the time I went, it was really good.
Well, look, what are you doing Tuesday? Who cares? Saturday morning Samoflange is what this is all about. But but I'll probably be there on Tuesday if you want to go. It'd be great.
Tacos.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday. Yeah, it's great. I don't know. It depends on. It depends. It depends on if we're recording a podcast or something like that.
That's true. Well, they're going to go to dinner, so.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
But are they going to Taco Tuesday?
Yeah, they might be going there.
Oh no! Well, I'll put on a devious disguise. You can put on a disguise. I'll put on a dress. We'll be like Lucy and Ethel. Fine.
Under any other, this is one of the reasons I love recording this podcast with you, because to any other human in any other circumstance and any other person in any conversation, I'd be like, what? But with you, I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, come on, Brad could say the same thing.
Right, just totally.
Brad would insist to be the one to dress.
Right. Or he'd say, no, you have to ride on my shoulders or something like that.
Anyone who doesn't know who Brad is like, let me just tell you.
Yeah.
If Baloo was a human character, Baloo from the Jungle Book.
I want the bare necessities.
That is Brad. He is
Go
with the flow. Cool
Forget about your worries and your strife.
Crazy. I can see him in the coconut bra. King Louie.
Yeah.
That's who Brad is. A guy that everyone loves.
I'm back and rested.
Gosh, I miss that dude too.
Just bare necessities of life. He's in your book now. He's got a young one that's occupying all of his time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I love that man.
Yeah.
Tell him I love him.
Brand new little boy.
I'm happy for him. You know what? He's going to be a great dad.
He is a great dad.
Super. I know he is.
He's a winner.
Because he's the...
Imagine having Baloo as your dad.
I said this to you during Thanksgiving, and I'll say it now just to everyone else. I said, there's your friends you have and the friends that you will help you move.
All right. Friends that help you move friends.
I'm very thankful for you as a friend.
Yep.
But, I mean, someone else is... My cousin is like that. If he wasn't working for UPS, he would be here every moment helping me out because he's done that before. And he'll drop what he's doing if he has some time off and come help you with anything. But those are good people who help you like that. So Brad's one of those good people.
For sure.
My number five is one that I just went to, which is why it's ranked low. But I just went to, and this is what spurred the whole conversation here, because Chinos has been around for decades.
Chinos.
And you're like, yes. And I was like, it was really good.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Italian...
You're not a big Italian food?
Yeah, the thing is, I can make Italian at home. Anyone can.
Can you?
And a lot of Italian... Well, hold up. Everyone goes, oh, it's just spaghetti. It's just eggplant parmesan. It's just this. But this is...
Oh, that's right. You had some naysayers telling you about...
I had a lot of naysayers saying, stay away. It's not really that good. But I was like, you know what? I got to go because it's been around for decades, and it cannot be bad if it's been around for decades.
Right.
And it's run by a family. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And they're Italian.
Yeah.
Big Italian.
Very much so.
Very much so. And it's the granddaughters to the grandfather, I mean, and everyone in between run it. And they treat you, I mean, honestly, it's weird, really weird. This is going to sound so cheesy. Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family. No.
No, you're not. When you're here, you're money. Right.
I felt like, and this is not a slam against them, I told you this. I felt like I was in my grandmother's house.
Absolutely.
During Christmas, eating a fantastic meal.
Yep.
I could not get over the ambiance because it does feel like you're in a grandma's
house. It is exactly like that.
There's the old grapes, the things that your grandmother would have had, you know, if she liked Italian art or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. The lamp, the stuff like that. That you know what I'm saying. The inside, even though the outside is beautiful.
No,
the outside is beautiful.
Right. Outdoor seating, beautiful terrace with a water fountain,
yes,
and everything. It's
so
very romantic and lovely. Candles, and they come out and they'll light the candle for you,
And everyone is so nice.
Yeah.
The whole family's super nice. And the food just has love in it. It really does. The dishes are wonderful. The sauce is made with
It's fresh every day.
Every day. It's their own sauce. Yes, they put it on everything, and they should. And they are so accommodating. You want to change the menu up.
You go right ahead.
Different type of sauce.
You want different cheese. You want some.
In their sauce.
Absolutely.
Two old ladies said, I don't want the Parmesan in the sauce. I went, okay, we'll have them make some fresh sauce for you. They have the little kitchen window too. The little tiny kitchen window.
Right.
He goes, hey, chef. And the chef comes and says, look, can you make a new batch of sauce without without one of their ingredients?
Right.
Without the Parmesan.
And
he told the ladies, and they said, well, we hope it's not too much trouble. Yeah, it's a lot of trouble. We're having to make a new batch of sauce. I mean, he said, hey, I get him to do that all all because I'm not much for the Parmesan either. Now, the thing is, he's a liar.
Who cares?
He's a liar.
You're right.
Part of the family. He's got a gut like an ex-football player. The dude loves the spaghetti there. But the thing is, though, he's just being accommodating, and they all are, and you cannot, I just don't think, and by the way, they will ask you if you have a reservation because there is limited seating there. And
very limited seating.
They pack out.
Oh,
if you don't have it, they'll try to fit you in somewhere.
Right.
Like I couldn't sit outside, but I had a spot inside. I was like,
right. And I think Valentine's Day
I bet it's
fell on a Sunday this year or Monday or something. And so Saturday, because they're closed Sunday, Monday. Mm-hmm. So they actually have a full weekend. And but Saturday, I believe, was when everybody was doing the Valentine's Day dinner, and it didn't register to my head because Valentine's Day wasn't until Sunday or Monday or something like that, and so that was pretty packed. But for me, a regular repeat customer, like they were able to get me into a spot. But also one of the hidden gems of this place as well is that it's got a secluded little partitioned off hole in the wall room for like special occasions, So if somebody wants to get engaged or some big event's happening or some very private family dinner or something, you can have a little closed-in it's what do you call it? Little shutters that they close, and so you've got a little private spot you can do. Right. So, but you can either sit outside if the weather's lovely, which it usually, it's so perfect. Yeah. Yes, tiny little room on the inside too. Yeah, right. And you can sit in there as well. But you're right. The food is fresh.
Has happened there, I bet.
I'm almost guaranteed that for sure. But you're right about the service. And I remember I went with my parents there one time, and I remember that the waiter came over, and he must have had 4 or 5 different tables that he was taking care of, and they all needed something. But my parents mentioned some offhand comment about something, and then he went off and just told us this whole story that gave the whole dish that we were eating just this beautiful backstory and a history and a culture and a reason, and it was just glorious, and it made the food taste better.
I would be proud to bring anyone there.
Absolutely, and that's why it's my number 1 on my list.
Wow!
I would go there over anywhere in Monroe. As far as if I've only got one night,
haven't been enough, which is why
if I have only one night to entertain somebody, if they come to Monroe for one night and you want to go to one restaurant, I'm going to go to Chinos.
I should talk to you.
Absolutely.
Everyone else tell me, man, it's okay. I was like, it can't be okay if it's been around for decades.
Right, and they've been around since the 50s or 40s. I don't know. It's been a good 50s, long while.
But it could be 40s, but I think it was 50s. But the thing is, regardless, it's been.
Who cares?
And
right.
I think it's the
and how many places have come and gone
on that street?
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Right.
The other thing is not facing everything on that street. Is not facing that street. It's facing another corner of the street. I think it's the only address. It's in one of those. Not a dead end.
It's
road,
not a totally obvious. No.
Make shortcuts through there.
Right. No. Right. You have to know it's there.
It's a no-name
to
road
go there. Right.
Off of a busy road.
Off of a busy street, but
you have no business driving down that road.
No.
Unless you're going.
You're not going to be a tourist or wandering up and down the street and say, "Oh, we were going to go here. It's busy, but let's look over across the street and go there instead." Yeah. That's not how it happens.
It's kind of tucked down the road, so you can't even see it from the corner of the busy street. When you pass through that street, if you happen to look down that road, you went, "Oh, look, there's a restaurant."
Right.
There.
No. Apparently, it doesn't matter. Like it's
Still
just
good.
it's that fantastic. No, I totally agree,
Great.
and it's absolutely my number 1. That's our first crossover.
All right, number 5 for you.
I'm struggling with these.
I know. Pick one. It's all right.
Well, all right. So
I'll say how wrong you are. Kidding.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. Dang. I think I'm gonna have to go with Portico then. In that case, do you know Portico?
I know Portico.
Okay. And I think mainly Portico is probably, it's more of American fare, but I think it really falls on the list just because of several good post-theater dinner memories.
And that's the thing. I have a lot of post-theater.
It's post-theater stuff, yes.
You and I, that's the last time I was there with you.
So being on stage and performing with a group of people, and then usually there are very few options available to you.
There's nice ambiance there. There's usually someone playing.
Exactly. There's usually a band playing, and it's a good place to have a good conversation, and it's lively. It's nice seating, good bar, good out. It's got some outdoor seating too.
The reason why it wouldn't make mine, it's under new management since it first opened.
Is it?
I thought so.
I don't know.
It sucked when it first opened.
Oh,
I hated it.
Wow.
And it's gotten better now.
Okay.
But it sucked really bad.
I never experienced that.
I never liked going there when the group liked going there.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's a lot different now because I've enjoyed my last few visits there.
I mean, I don't know. I moved back to the area about 3 years ago, right? Okay. And then that's when I first started. That's the first time I ever went. Was about 3 years ago.
When it first opened, it was garbage. It was and I heard that it was the only restaurant, again, years ago, only restaurant that failed the health inspection.
Now that's not true, because I'll tell you, like one of the worst things. I'm just saying one of the worst things you could ever do is to go onto the State of Louisiana health inspection website. Don't do it. Just don't. Promise me that you won't do it, because it's going to ruin your experience for so many good things. Because when I was really bored, I was working on a military base in New Orleans, and I finished studying for a really difficult exam, and I'd passed it, and I was gonna give myself a mental break before I started studying the next one. And so I was like, I will engage in the mindless banter of this stupid room and this stupid job that I hate. And one of the things that we used to kill our free time with was to look at the health inspections because it's public. It's a public website,
yeah,
you know, and they have to post it. Like what they failed and what they failed it for. And oh my word, if you want a reason and a way to scale back on your dining budget, if you live in New Orleans when it's all about the food, just fire up that publicly funded health web. Whoa, man, it'll just change your life. You read some of that stuff. I hope not. Okay. I'm not gonna do it. I'm never doing that again. Because there are images in my head that I cannot get out now. And that's just what you sort of assume happens everywhere.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
Just don't do it.
No. Yeah. My number.
Ignorance is bliss in this case.
That's true.
Absolutely. Your number three.
Number
4.
Yeah. Well, my number 4 was Giant's Pizza. It's a very unique pizza.
Yes, it's great.
Everyone should try it. It's not the best for me. It's not the best pizza out there, but I didn't grow up eating it all the time. But I will say this: Giant's Pizza is unique.
It is to the area.
You can do a blind taste test of any pizza, and if you've grown up here, you will always
instantly.
I will never be able to fool you.
You are absolutely right.
Pizza. I could cut it in triangles.
You are
every pizza in
absolutely right.
And you still or squares, and you still know.
And Johnny's Pizza is cut into rectangles.
It's sliced. Not in pie pieces.
That's kind of their shtick.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it doesn't matter if I give you any pizza.
It is magnificent. No, you're right. And it's unique enough that
it's the most unique pizza.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
It's probably just because it has the most sugar in it or something. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's magnificent.
For my sister-in-law's birthday, it was great.
That's a great place. It's good. I've had more birthdays at Johnny's Pizza than I probably have anywhere else in my life.
Like I said, it would be one of the top 5 places I'd take someone.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay. So number 4 for you.
Chinos. Sticking with the Italian theme. It falls lower on the list just because it's a little bit pricey than it should be, I think. Okay. But it also has the ambiance and it's nice there.
That's another one. It's the only restaurant in a residential area.
Yes, and that was one of the cool things that I like about it.
And it's in a back road.
Talk about back of nowhere, like never would accidentally come across it kind of thing. Right.
Neighborhood.
Right.
It's just a restaurant
right.
sitting in there in a residential.
It's just another house, and so, but it's very similar to Gino's in a lot of ways, but. I don't know. Honestly,
you have to go half a mile to get to that little shopping strip down Forsyth.
Yeah.
It's really out of the way.
Yeah, it's a lot pricier than Gino's is, I believe.
And it's got an upgrade.
It's got a big upgrade, right? And so it's fancy and it's nice. It's got they have some very, very expensive wine there for sure. Yeah. I think the most expensive bottle of wine I've ever bought in my life was from Chinos. And it was a plus $100 bottle of wine. And only did it because I had just finished reading a psychological, a paper of something about how taste testing, like wine tastes better or worse if people think that it costs more. And essentially the conclusion of the article was, so whether or not you like expensive wine or whether or not you like cheap wine, you buy whatever makes you feel good kind of thing. Because if it tastes better to you, if you know it's more expensive, then buy the more expensive one if you want. But between a $5 bottle of no label, when they control and they mix in the labels and they put it in a bottle that doesn't really cost anything or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's psychological how much wine how good it tastes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a very psychological element to it is what I'm trying to say. Okay. But the point is that I bought the very expensive bottle partly to impress a girl, but also partly just to test it out and see if that thing I just read about was true. Look, I thought it was a great bottle of wine. It was magnificent. The reason I remember it, though, is because I had a fairly new server, I think. And so he opened the bottle, and I'll never forget this for as long as I live, because he says, all right, that sounds, so you'll be allowed to drink that in about 10 minutes. You got to let it breathe for a little bit. And I'm like, all right, thanks. And then we both looked at each other as he walked away like, we'll be allowed to drink this in 10 minutes. Are you kidding? And we just got the giggles because of how stupid that phrase was.
Wow.
Just, okay, I'm not allowed to drink this thing that I just paid $100 for.
In the first place, right. You're the one corking it up.
Get out of here. What are you not allowed to do? Tell me what to do. This is America in the South.
That cork when I walk in. Anyway,
but the food is delicious. It's more upscale, and that's the reason it's in my number 4 is because it's a little too expensive for my taste.
I understand,
but it's good.
Yeah,
it's worthy of taking
high school, but yeah, it was.
It's worthy of taking somebody. If they wanted to try out something here locally and they wanted Italian food, that'd be definitely one of the places I'd take them.
Absolutely.
So far we've got pizza, Italian, and Italian. Like I'm all about the Italian food.
Good. So I'm gonna go even wilder now.
Hit me with it.
I have been around the country, and I've been to some great barbecue places, and there's nothing that can compare to what we have. Oh, no, there's nothing that could compare to there where we had here. Here we have that generic slinging barbecue sauce on it. And then, like Podnas. Nothing wrong with Podnas, but it's not barbecue.
No. It's very generic.
Yeah, it's very generic. But you want something that's like, this puts us on the spot. This is a true blue barbecue place. That is Two Dudes Barbecue.
Two Dudes Brew and Q.
Yes, that is a legit barbecue place. Like when I went there, I was so happy because there is not a barbecue place like when I started traveling, I thought I knew what barbecue was, and I was wrong.
What do you mean?
There's barbecue everywhere else.
Really?
Not generic barbecue.
Was better than here?
It was better. Yes, they had big smokers and everything, and we didn't have that. And finally, at Two Dudes, we finally have it, and their sauces are great too.
They are.
So.
The sides are all good. They've got outdoor seating and bands as well.
Outdoor seating, bands as well. The staff is great. The owner is fan-friggin-tastic. Super nice guy.
Something I don't like that this place and a lot of other restaurants do, like Firehouse does this. You know what I'm talking about? When we walk into Firehouse Subs.
Oh, do they all say hello to you?
They all holler at you from the doors like, hi, welcome to the... Oh, yeah. Which I loathe that. Now, I'm a theater person. I love being on stage. Yeah. I'm an extrovert a lot of the time. But... don't yell at me when I walk into a restaurant. Like, it's just not my thing.
Firehouse looks like they're pissed off in Monroe. They're like, welcome to Firehouse. I've seen better.
That's just because they see you all the time. When you're not on a diet, you're in there every day.
I boycotted them for a little while.
Did you?
They don't support local communities.
What?
Yeah. But now I don't care anymore, so...
Wow.
I'm not on the Strauss board.
I think we need to talk about this more after the podcast is over.
I did. I love Firehouse. But
look, that's good stuff.
I said, well, I mean, if you're not going to support local...
That's really disappointing because they'll support firefighters and everything else, and that's kind of what they're about. But
they say they would, but when we put it, they said, can we put it... They said, sure. And then I saw her rip it off as I was walking away. She didn't wait.
What?
Trashed it, too. I thought she was repositioning or something. Trashed it.
Ouch. Painful. Worse.
Yeah, don't say that. So
lame. But barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue.
We knew that there would have to be a barbecue one on the list.
Yeah.
On the top 5. But Two Dudes Brew and Q is what your number one is.
I had a buddy of mine who was coming in, and I said, what do you like? I said, do you like barbecue? Because I was seriously going to think about taking him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought...
And barbecue is different everywhere you go. Like, you go St. Louis, you got the dry rub kind of barbecue that's really famous there.
You go to Tennessee.
Tennessee has the very famous, right.
They got some great stuff. Dallas had some great stuff. Phoenix had some great stuff when I went there.
Right.
Columbus, Ohio has some great... Everyone has their own version of some kind of... But it's really... I mean, you can tell whoever I did it, barbecue is an art.
I totally agree with you.
To cook right barbecue.
And I think before a few years ago, I would have ranked a barbecue place in New Orleans as like my number one favorite. Still probably is.
I'm sure it is. I just haven't been there, but I'm sure there is one.
Yeah, there's one in the east side of the city in the art district. I can't remember the name of the place right now, but man, just knocked my socks off.
Really?
Fantastic. So good, but so distinct. And even in a city known for its distinct food. Like, whew, man, salivating even thinking about it. So, but barbecue, like, I'll go ahead and jump to my number 3 then.
Go ahead.
Because Two Dudes would probably be my favorite barbecue place in Monroe. But when you want to stretch it just a little bit farther and take it to Sterlington.
Okay, that's fine.
Have you ever been to the barbecue pit in Sterlington?
I know where you're talking. I know exactly what you're talking about.
My
that's
word.
Really good, huh?
Blew my mind.
Wow.
At how good it was.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. It's in a little shopping center.
Yeah. It's like you got a weird U-turn you got to go to get to it, right?
There's another place.
You're right. There's nothing else. Right, exactly. There's nothing else there.
There's nothing else there. Easy.
Right.
But no, I've seen it.
It's got one of those clever names for like a beauty salon or like a... You know how when they make clever names for like a bar and they say it's just called the Joint and you say, and the wife yells at the husband and the stereotype says, "Where are you going?" "I'm going down to the door." "I'm going down to the store." Like the name of the bar is the store or something like that. There's a place that's stereotypical, like for women it's like the button shop or something like that, and it's like it would be one of those things where the woman is leaving the house like, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to the salon." Yeah. "But which one? But where are you going?" It's one of those things, and then the barbecue pit's right next to it. And the point is that it's seemingly it's just an unspectacular location and an unspectacular spot in Sterlington of all places. Just nothing else there really, but wow, just absolutely phenomenal good barbecue. Like with that kind of what you're talking about. Like it just has it's not bland. It's not generic. It's got definitely an art form that's in place for it.
Good.
One of the things that's really cool is they're building a new bar. Like homemade, they're like handcrafting it, and the entire bar is made out of spent like 22 shell casings, like bullet casings. So like the entire bar is going to be spent bullets. And right now it's being built, and so it's upside down, and so you see all the spent bullets on the upside, and they're putting it together one by one, like by hand and everything. Which I'm not all about. Like I'm not a huge gun fan, but
it's just the design.
But the point is that the design and the handcraftedness that they're putting into creating that is clearly what they also do with the barbecue, and it's magnificent.
Okay, so this is not an honorable mention. Dishonorable mention. It didn't make it.
All right.
It's not around anymore. But do you remember Smitty's?
Smitty's? No.
I think you were gone.
No.
Smitty's was a Philly cheesesteak place.
No, I don't remember this.
From Philadelphia.
Okay.
Said there was no good Philly cheesesteaks here.
So decided to make them.
Unbelievably good.
What?
He took it over from a nutritional protein shake place. You could tell because he didn't have any money for decorations. It was really, when you walked in, you're like, wait, it was the neon orange and pastel orange, pastel green. You know, like a
Baskin Robbins.
Nutrition,
Okay.
Really smooth.
Okay.
But you're like, what does he serve here? Oh, he serves Philly
cheesesteaks.
The best you've ever had.
Really?
The best you've ever had.
But didn't.
And the thing is, spent zero on advertising.
Oh.
Too. So he got lost in the shelf. He's like, well, we have a Facebook. I went, so is my nephew.
Yeah.
And he has more followers than you.
So I mean,
the man he didn't have any money to put into to renovate the restaurant, so it confused people as where they were. His sign was very generic. Plus, if you don't do advertising, no one's going to come to you.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of marketing for sure.
I went there all the time.
Like Chinos doesn't really do a lot of marketing per se, but the location
no, they're a legacy.
Yeah,
with your gooses and mohawks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you go in there and you feel like you're at your grandmother's house, kind of thing, and you're saying this dude, you felt like you were in a little Baskin Robbins or something.
Remember, they still have that billboard on Washington Street that they had in the 50s, probably.
Who does?
Chinos.
Do they really?
Yes, it's on Washington Street.
Like
this way.
They just bought the whole billboard back in the 50s for $500 maybe.
Hopping,
wow.
When downtown Monroe was hopping.
Man.
So my number two is a place that you know Mark Addison.
I love Mark Addison.
I do too.
Magnificent person.
He was on this podcast a decade ago, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get him back on. But whenever we want to go eat, usually I always pick this place because I just always love the Magic Grill.
The Magic Grill.
Magic Grill is a burger fry place, basically.
Yes.
It has po' boys and stuff like that too, but you go for the burger and the fries or the secret menu.
Dun,
chicken
dun, dun.
challenge. It's a spicy
I love
chicken
secret
sandwich.
menus so much.
And they have one, and you can get it, and they have other secret menu items, and they'll gladly tell you what the secret menu item.
Can I interrupt really briefly
Go right
to
ahead.
tell you what my favorite secret menu thing is ever?
Good.
If you ever go to Harry Potter World in Florida, there's a secret menu at almost every restaurant you can eat at
Told me this
in Harry Potter World.
Because y'all had it, you and Chris.
Will, we found everything. Yeah, we found
what
all the
was
things. No. That's the thing.
Okay.
There's something secret on everything because when we first got there, we met the guy and we befriended the guy who trains new people when they start working there. So like he was the guy who knew everything, and he was our best friend from the very beginning to the very end. And like went back a year later, saw him, he remembered us. And like we met and went around the whole park again, learned every secret. But anyway, I always ask when you're at Harry Potter World, always ask, is there a little secret something you want to tell me about? You know, just be interested. And man, you will find some of the coolest stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really great. Not really advertised, but really
I always
fantastic.
get the secret menu chicken challenge. It's great.
Chicken
Burgers
challenge. Tell me more about the chicken challenge.
Spicy chicken sandwich.
I just like saying chicken challenge.
It's a spicy chicken sandwich. Chicken is tender, fresh fried. It's unbelievably
Now,
good.
remind me, Magic Grill was started by someone who...
It's the guy who was the cook for Ray's PG.
Ray's PG,
Which
that's
is a
right.
big famous po' boy place that's still
Right.
around, but not as good.
Which
because he has left.
Exactly. And I
He
he sold
opened
his
up a
recipes or whatever and went to he's the one who
opened up
started
his own
Magic
store.
Grill, right?
And then-
Because I went back to Ray's PG for the first time just last week after decades of not being there because I wasn't that impressed decades ago. Still not.
No.
And so it's just, it wouldn't make my list, but a very famous po' boy place.
He was the cook there, and it was good back in the day.
Yeah.
And then he made his own. He went on his own. And I'll be honest, Mike Rodriguez is the guy. I've known him for years.
Okay.
And because we used to work together a long time ago, and back before he opened up Magic Grill, he actually worked with me.
No kidding.
Before me, actually. At
TV. Where Brazen was? Oh, okay.
No. But anyway, but he does a fantastic job, and I will always go to Magic Grill. I think it's fantastic.
I haven't been a fan, but I haven't been that many times to Magic Grill, so I don't know.
Well,
I'll have to try it. That's one of the ones I'll have to try. Right. Now that I know there's a secret chicken challenge.
It's great.
Just saying it.
Because my wife she knows that she loves chicken sandwiches. She likes the chicken challenge, but she can't stop ordering the burger because it's one of the few places she'll eat a burger. She don't like burgers, but she loves Magic Grill burgers.
Here it was thinking that Megan was a normal person.
She's not a burger.
She doesn't like hamburgers.
Usually not, unless it's a Whopper or Magic Grill.
So I told you that Kim had a friend, Kevin, from Germany in town, and we were trying to explain to him, like, American food, right? Because he had never been, he'd went into Brookshire's, and he's like, God, this grocery store is gigantic. Like, why do you need all this food? And then he's like, what do you mean?
We throw most of it away.
He's like, what do you mean Walmart pickup? Like, they bring it to your car? No wonder Americans are so fat. You don't even walk into the grocery store to get your groceries. They bring it to your car? Are you kidding me?
America.
All of that with a very thick German accent. That's fantastic. He actually sounds like Christoph Waltz. He's really great. He's a nice guy. You think you'll like him.
Do you think I can get him to say Jones?
I really hope so, because I mean, all of the Indiana Jones references we can drop. We need to do that. We need to get him to repeat it for us as much as possible. You know, we need to do a top 5 things to say in German.
Things to get Kevin to
top
say.
5 things to say, get Kevin's to say with a German accent. That's what we need to do.
We will get our revenge on Moose and Squirrel. True story. I knew a girl from Transylvania, and I was like, wait a minute, you're from Transylvania? She's like, yes. I said, well, I heard all you people say blah, blah, blah. And she goes, we do not say blah, blah, blah. I said, can you say that again? It was funny because I was training a trainer at this time at work. It was my first time I was ever training a trainer. And he just kept looking at me like, you're the guy
who's supposed to teach me this?
He just was shaking his head like, because I kept doing it. I was like, I had my first lips, and I was trying to laugh. I called my wife and said, she's Natalia. Her name's her. She's from, and she says blah blah blah. She went, and my wife goes, can you record her saying that? I went, no, because then she'll know something's up. I tried to get her to say moose and squirrel, and she wouldn't do it. And I didn't want to say, hey, I want to hear you say moose and squirrel. But I don't think anyone else got it.
Ooh, well, that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was great. Anyway, okay, so
so my number 2, because Chinos was already covered as my number 1. You have a number 1 left, right?
I have a number 1 left.
Okay, so my number 2 would ironically be number 1, which is Warehouse number 1, which is a very popular steak place.
I did not. That would be my dad's probably number 1 as well.
You think so? Warehouse number 1.
That is probably, yeah, maybe that's probably my parents' number 1. They love Warehouse. The thing is, I love Warehouse. I rarely go.
I rarely go. It's very expensive, is why.
It's very expensive, is why. But also, it's packed. That thing is packed. That's like
every single time. They have. Look,
that's the key to.
They have a tiny parking lot, like comparatively tiny, but have valet parking in the front. Just because, they have valet parking for like a parking lot that's like just from here to there.
It is a nice place, but it's not like coat and jacket. But
but if you wear coat and jacket
and a piano player, with a tip jar, so
see, that's the thing. Like it's one of the places that you can go dressed in a tuxedo, and no one will really look at you twice.
That's true.
It's fine,
But you don't have to. You can wear.
No, you can. Of course, they're not going to turn you away. But like, it's one of the places where we can go and pretend.
Well, the thing is, though, you don't feel underdressed either.
Correct. And the food, really though, like it's got a great history. It's okay. So I looked it up. It's located in Monroe's historic district, has witnessed almost 100 years of Monroe's 200-year-old heritage that has withstood many threats of high waters from flood. Anyway, so it's a warehouse because Monroe was basically a fort, and it's built right on the river, and it's one of the original stops for all goods and services with like barges going down the river to New Orleans and everything else, right? So it's made in this old warehouse, so it's got a cool aesthetic to it, and it's got one of the things that I thought was really neat that I didn't realize this until the last time I went. is the back of it, right on the river, so built on the stilts, right on top of the water. It has a screened-in like outdoor seating area, but it's air conditioned controlled, so you can go in the summertime and it's still cool outside or cool in there, kind of thing. So you can kind of sit outside but still not die. Because it's Louisiana and it's really freaking hot in the summertime, so it's still enjoyable. Like you can sit out there and it's like, okay, like I kind of chuckled. I'm like, air conditioned control, like still outside. Are you kidding me? It's 106 degrees outside. No, it was nice. Yeah. Like I was really surprised. Whatever they do, it works. It works. Yeah. And so. And then the food is top notch. Like the steak, it's known as a steak place, and it's really popular for proms and for, like a bunch of 18-year-olds or, busting up in there with their prom dresses on and stuff. But also it can be fine dining too. But the point is that it's worth the money. It's delicious.
Many a wedding reception has been
many wedding receptions, and the service is top notch too. Like the service really is comparable to just about anywhere else that you could put it up against.
Do you know one of the chefs is the guy who used to work there is the guy who does the beignets here in town?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, he was one of the pastry chefs there, and he said, "I'm gonna do my own." He said because he's not from Louisiana, but he was fascinated with the beignet.
Fascinated with the beignets and Café du Monde in New Orleans being the beignet capital of the world, right?
And from what I can taste, he got it right. He makes there's a reason that dude sells out wherever he goes. He does that traveling.
He does the food truck
stand.
Right.
And the thing is, though, you better go early.
Oh, it's delicious.
Because he can make a beignet, and he does baked goods too. But no, you know what? He gave up the truck. He has a restaurant now or a bakery now.
Oh.
Anyway, though, off topic.
So steamboat era warehouse restaurant steak place like that. That's really a top notch place, but.
So we only had one crossover, so you were right, I guess. All right. So
it looks like that's a good thing. That means we've got more options than we realized here.
My number one is where I took my buddy Dwayne when he came in, and it's probably if there's any of these, I'd take someone and feel good about it. But Traps.
Traps.
I love Traps.
Really? Also right on the river.
Joey, what's his name? I just lost his last name, but Joey Trapp. Joey Trapp is a fantastic dude who is from hometown, knows how to cook,
He's from here?
He's from here.
Okay.
He does Traps, he does Fieldhouse, which is why their burger tastes just like Traps.
Fieldhouse is pretty good.
Fieldhouse is good.
Yeah.
And then he owns something else. I can't remember what. But whenever he opens a restaurant, he knows what to do, and he'll sit and talk to you. He's a really nice dude. I think he may be my age or something. I mean, just.
I really do enjoy Traps. It's delicious.
This is another burger place, but it also has
American fare.
My wife's favorite seafood nachos, which is an appetizer.
Seafood nachos.
But my wife will always get the seafood nachos, and that will be her dinner.
Oh yeah.
Because they do not skimp.
Same thing with seafood. The barbecue pit. Like you get an appetizer there, like you might as well be eating your entree. That's just absurd.
My wife has never ordered anything
but the seafood nachos
because they're so good. And we're talking crawfish and
everything. Right.
And they do not skimp on the.
No, they don't. And I remember I've had like the burgers there, and I've had I've had several things. I've never had anything bad.
Burgers.
I've never had anything bad there.
I've had the po' boy before. I've had the only thing. And I didn't tell him that because I didn't want to because he wanted me to try the gumbo. And I was like, I'm very picky on my gumbo. They burn the roux, in my opinion. But no one does good gumbo. No one.
No one here.
No one here.
No.
And not any seafood restaurant I've ever been to.
There were very select places I would go to in New Orleans for gumbo too, even.
But because the roux is the most important thing. You undercook it.
R-O-U-X.
It has a tasty taste.
Yes.
If you overcook it, it has a burnt taste. Yeah. And they overcook the roux at Traps.
So whose roux are you thinking of? Like your grandmother or somebody? Yeah. Okay.
Which my mom has perfected and I have done before twice. With my mom's help.
Out of how many attempts?
This is really weird.
Twice?
No. This is really weird because once it smells like burned popcorn, I'm not making this up.
What?
When it starts smelling like burnt popcorn,
it's just right.
For 2 more minutes, and then turn it down, and then pour everything else in.
That's what you would write on the recipe card.
That's how you have to say it.
Wow.
Once I smell burned popcorn, I set the
2
timer
minutes.
for 2 minutes. You got to keep stirring it.
That is so interesting.
And then you pour and this is how everyone's gumbo recipe is. It's not measurements. It's not time.
No, it's a gut feeling.
Gut feelings.
Right.
And that's when you start pouring in this and that and this and that.
Wow.
And then you got it, but you got to keep stirring that roux. That roux is like that's the lifesaver.
It is. It's a secret sauce.
It doesn't matter.
It really is.
Honestly, it doesn't matter if you put in fresh or frozen shrimp.
It won't matter.
It does not matter.
Not if you screw that up. Totally agree.
Roux is right. You're good.
Totally
So
agree.
I'm picky on my
There was a restaurant in New Orleans, I can't remember the name of, but that's where I would take people when they were tourists and they were getting there for the first
I
time.
would try gumbo in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm picky about that. I'm not picky about anything else at a restaurant. Usually. Then gumbo. I did not eat.
There was one place in the quarter that had a trio thing, so that people could have gumbo, etouffee, and jambalaya all in the same dinner. It's the same meal, so you could get a little bit of each. Yeah. And I can't remember the name of it for the life of me now. But that's what, if people were coming in for one day, they're like, "What do we try?" And it's like, "All right, we'll go to this restaurant. You'll get everything, and then we'll go right across the street or two to Café du Monde, so you can have the beignets. You can take a picture in front of St. Louis Cathedral, and then we'll go, and that's it."
Is there another place for beignets, or is it Café du Monde?
Café du Monde is what it's about. There's several beignets, but I mean,
it still doesn't beat the original.
It's very. It's very much like the wine I was talking about earlier.
It's been around for
that's the original,
since
the beginning of New Orleans. It's burned down twice with the whole city, kind of thing, and they rebuilt it all right there, at the same spot.
They've been doing it for years.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
They predate the donut.
That I don't know, but you might be right.
I've never seen that on Food Network or something.
Look, you could be right. I don't know, but they've got the whole history of it right there. But it's magnificent, really and I think the $100 bottle of wine tastes better because it's a $100 bottle. And they tell you can't drink it. You're not allowed to drink it for 10 minutes, and then you got to let it breathe. Mm-hmm. And so it tastes better psychologically. Beignets taste better at Café du Monde when you're sitting outside in the springtime because you're there.
It's like that restaurant in Memphis that keeps its grease. It's had its grease for 60, 70 years.
That just terrifies me, and I don't even know what you're talking about. But
it cooks everything in the same grease it did.
Oh my word! Are you serious?
They lock it away.
That is disgusting.
Everyone goes.
Why do we got to end on such a sour note? This was such a good Saturday.
Good morning.
Samoflange.
Grease.